What does efficient mean to you? What does the word efficiency mean? How do we become efficient, and what does it mean if we are?
Accomplished with a purpose and on time.
Yeah.
Accomplished with a purpose and on time. What else?
Quickly.
Quickly. I love that. Quickly. I mean, don't you think that if you hear the word efficient, what comes to mind? Quickly. That's probably the first thing that comes to mind. Time, right? Time bound for sure, as Michelle said. What else?
No wasted effort.
I feel like, skills. If you're skilled at something, you're going to get better at it. You're going to get the time down quicker.
Okay. So two things. Let's dive into that. No wasted effort. Who is that said that?
It was Ray, Chris.
Hey, Ray. Thanks. So no wasted effort. If we're efficient at something, man, we can just get it done. There's not, interestingly enough, there's not a whole lot of effort that goes into it either, right? If we're efficient, we get it done quickly. Now, this conversation of skill came up, and what I will say is take that word, move it from efficiency, and put it into effectiveness for a second. Like, let's just take it and put it into our effectiveness box. Because in my mind, right, as crazy as my mind lives, I have this efficiency box, and efficiency is all about the 80%. Efficiency actually takes less skill. In fact, I don't even care if mistakes happen when you're efficient. Efficiency is all about, how do I get this stuff done as quickly as possible? That is what we need to think about when we're in our 80%. And actually, it takes some time to get things done faster and faster, right? Systems. I will tell you, Sarah makes us more efficient. For those of you who watched her video, and maybe that, I think it just came out, but she did a little video with Alex, and Alex did tremendous on her video. And she's very clear about what her 20% is, which is all of our 80%, by the way, because she is incredibly effective at her 20%, which makes us more efficient. Absolutely. So efficiency is all about knocking stuff out quickly, and not getting stuck. Because if we spend too much time on our 80%, guess what's not going to get done? Our priorities.
20.
Yep, 20%, our priorities. Now, let's talk about effectiveness. Why is effectiveness tied to our 20%? Why is effectiveness in the 20% mandatory?
Because that's the only way you're going to reach your goals.
Thank you, Teresa. The only way you're going to hit your goal, or even follow the process or system that we've set up, is if we're effective. So how do we become more effective? A word was said just 2 minutes ago. Skills.
Skill up.
Skills. Guys, if we're not spending time skilling up, we are not going to become more effective. Do you realize why we believe that business is about coaching, consulting, collaborating, and being committed? It's because that is what is going to drive our effectiveness. Is getting more leads going to make you more effective?
No.
No, it's not. Now, do we want more? Yes. So leads will lead to results potentially, but will not make you more effective in your 20%. Getting effective in the 20% is mandatory, because we are going to skill up, and we are going to get better and better and better and better at our 20%. If you're good at something, do you like it?
Yes.
Yes. Understand this efficiency in the 80% is critical. This effectiveness in the 20% is mandatory. Critical, efficiency in the 80, mandatory, effectiveness in the 20. And so as I started really focusing on that word effective, the only thing I could think of was that book that we actually went through together, through Cliff Notes really, but that book that I read and shared, maybe over a year ago, The Effective Executive. And so I went back into my notes there, and there was a section on page 20 and 23 that asked the question, can effectiveness be learned? Guess what? The answer is this: there is no effective personality. What all effective people have in common is the practices, sounds like systems, practices that make effective whatever they have and whatever they are. It is a process. If we follow a process, if we follow a practice, we become more and more effective because we are skilling up. These practices, Peter Drucker says, right? One of the most well-read and arguably one of the best business writers of all time. These practices are the same regardless of what they do, what industry they're in, or what job you have. So, what is a practice?
High performance habits.
I love that. It is, for sure. Anyone play sports? What did you do when you practiced?
Drills.
And why? What was the point of doing those drills?
It just helps
Muscle
you repeat
memory.
the.
Yeah, someone said muscle memory. And what was the second thing?
Repeating the basics.
Repeating the basics. And the only purpose to repeat those basics was to get more effective at the free throw line, more effective throwing the ball, more effective with your kick, it doesn't matter what it was. The practice helped you become more effective in whatever was going to be mandatory to hit your goal or win that game. There are 5 habits that we need to acquire to be effective. Right? And then we're going to talk about high performance habits. 5 habits that we need to be effective. Number 1, know where your time goes. That's the theme of our call. Know where your time goes. 2, focus on outward contribution. Know what is expected of you, he says. That's chapter 3 of The Effective Executive. Number 3, build on your strengths. Number 4, concentrate on the few major areas where superior performance will produce outstanding results. Welcome to our Hangouts. Force yourself to set priorities and stay with your priority decisions. This is what he said, and this is decades ago this book was written. They do the first things first, and the second things not at all. They do the first things first, and the second things not at all. That reminds me of, if doing the most important thing is the most important thing, why would you do anything else first? And number 5, the 5th habit to be effective, make effective decisions. See, he says this is a matter of systems, of the right steps in the right sequence. Welcome to your playbook. You do realize that your playbook is one of the most desired thing right now around the lead gen lever after Mega Live. You are able to make effective decisions because we have made that decision making a matter of systems, taking the right steps in the right sequence. Why? Because we realize all of us want to be effective in the 20%, and it is mandatory to your goal, right? And that's results driven. We're not really talking about results, but if it's mandatory, it's because it will lead to the results.